Hey, what's going on guys, it's Lewis here for a new video. Following these dyno results from the other day, I've been contacted by Charlie from Perron, who, if you guys don't know, is the owner of Perron, and Perron is who creates my maps. So Charlie creates my maps and he's very good at doing so. Only up until this point, at stage 3, have I had issues with this figure here and low power that I'm running. So it got me thinking, and Charlie had very kindly invited me up to Perron HQ to address the situation. But something really interesting Charlie said is that one of the main issues with the V1 is the fact that it still runs an internal wastegate. And for those of you guys that know internal wastegates very well, as I don't, internal wastegate is essentially built into the turbo. It needs to be adjusted correctly in order to run the correct amount of boost. If it reaches a certain amount of pressure, the wastegate opens and it allows the exhaust gases to pass through into the downpipe. Now, the issue that I'm having here, or as far as I'm aware, the wastegate isn't actually adjusted properly. So whereas I could be running 1.7 bar of boost, which is 24 psi, I may be only running 1.4 bar of boost, which is 20 psi, which means, again, I'm going to suffer quite greatly in terms of my horsepower results. It got me thinking, and yesterday, I recall, me and Chandler, after the dyno, actually took the wiper panel off and took the cowl panel off, and we'd had a look back there. One thing that we did notice is at the V-band, or the clamp, sorry, which clamps the two sides of the turbo together, was very loose. So the first thing we done was tighten that up. The second thing we done was loosen the recirculating valve a little bit, which shouldn't have any effect on the on it anyway. But we loosened that a little bit because it was a little bit too tight, too fluttery. But the third thing that I noticed, and the most important thing, is that the wastegate seemed very loose on there. It seemed as though it was a little bit loose. It may be the spring was a little bit loose, which again could well be the answer to my problems. After discussion with Charlie, Charlie said that these graphs, they look great, they look smooth. However, one thing is that doesn't look like 1.7 bar of boost to him, and to be fair, it doesn't look like that to me either. I don't know my boost pressures, but going off of what he said, it makes a lot of sense now. It may just be due to the fact that the wastegate is looser than it should be, and it's releasing all of that pressure earlier than it should be, hence why I'm not hitting the torque and power figures which are quoted. So, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to attempt to work on the car myself, but I am still going to be going up to Perron HQ. One other thing as well is that a lot of people have been telling me to go to other companies like Revo, Collins Performance, Puma Speed, and to be quite honest with you, I'm pretty happy with AT, I'm pretty happy with Perron. I like the partnership they have there, I like the way that the maps go onto the car. I've been a customer of the AT Motorsport for well over a year now, and I've enjoyed every second of being a customer of them. They've been nothing but good to me, and I will continue to support AT Motorsport in whatever they do. That's no disrespect to other companies. There's some great companies out there: Puma Speed, Revo, Collins Performance, Mountune, Laird Performance. I don't dispute that these companies are good at all. I think they're great companies. So without further ado guys, we're going to try and attempt to adjust the wastegate and see if that is the issue. I'll see you guys in a second. Headlights, and this needs to come out. The crossover and all the induction system out in order to get behind to the manifold, the turbo and the wastegate. 15mm. These pull straight off with a little bit of a twist and a pull. It's very awkward to do with one hand, but this thing just unclips. Like so. Clips. Just pry them off. 6 in total. 10mm. Just take that out of there. Oops. 10mm. There's your easy access. This is your internal wastegate. This is what we're going to be adjusting today. In order to adjust this wastegate here, I've loosened this bolt up to about here, and that shortens and that strengthens the wastegate on the inside. So that means that there's less looseness in the wastegate, so it will open at a higher PSI. So I've loosened this one and I'm not going to have it all the way over here. I'm going to have it about here, and we'll see if we can feel any difference there. And obviously this is trial and error, so if it doesn't feel right, I will change it again. But for now, that seems about right. So now all we've got to do is tighten this so it moves this over. But it's just all in the case of how far over that will go. So we're going to have a little look and see. Alright guys, so I've adjusted the preload on the wastegate so it sits further over here. In turn, I believe that makes sure the spring is tighter in there, therefore releasing at a higher pressure, or PSI. So this is just a very small amount, as you guys can see where the nut was before. It's only tighter by about 4 or 5 threads. But I am hoping that this makes a difference, and fingers crossed it does. So we're going to put the car all back together now. I'm going to go for a drive and see if I feel any difference there. I'll let you guys know in a sec. Alright guys, so we're back in the car now, everything's all tightened up. I'm going to go for a quick spin and tell you guys how it went. Unfortunately I don't have my phone mount on me right now. I've actually lent it to a friend, so I'm not able to use that. But I'll let you guys know how it feels and I'll keep you posted. Oh my god. I think I figured out our problem. There is so much more torque there. I'm not even joking. So second gear pull. Fucking Christ. The car is like all over the place. Yeah, I don't know what is going on right now, but that is an insane difference. Like, that is a ridiculous difference. It was never like that. Alright guys, so we're back home now after that drive, and I think there's definitely a massive difference there. There was actually a lot more torque. There was so much torque that I couldn't put the power down in the rain, and that was never an issue before. So I think I've successfully fixed the issue. Again, until I actually get a boost gauge and get it back on the dyno, I'm not going to know for sure. But until I do get a boost gauge, I'm not going to push the car too hard. I may be slightly over boosting. So I need to get a boost gauge to tell exactly what bar of pressure I'm running now. I've got a feeling that it's definitely running a bit better, and it's definitely much more powerful. I mean, as you guys saw in the video, there's a lot more torque and it's a lot louder and all of that sort of stuff. And I think, so yeah, I think the issue was the wastegate, genuinely. And I think that now that I've sorted that, I think it's running a little bit more torque, quite a bit more torque, maybe like 10, 20 foot-pound. And I think it's running a little bit more brake as well. So like I say guys, until I get a boost gauge, I'm not going to know. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video anyways. Something a little bit different, me working on my own car for my, on my own. And I hope it, inspired you guys to try something new as well, because I've never done something like this before. I've always worked on basic bolt-on parts. I've never touched the turbo. I've never taken bits of panel off like that. So I did really enjoy it, and I'm quite proud of myself for doing that. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching this video anyways. Until next time guys, you stay frosty, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.